That's the biggest thing, right? So I just finished work with a client, and I've been working with her for just 1 month now. You know what I mean? And today she just finished telling me, like, man, already feel so much better. And she's already down about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And before she couldn't move, she couldn't walk much. Like, she's like, man, I have never felt this good, like, in so long, because she's had so many problems in her past life. And now she's like more mobile and I was like, listen, it's only been a month.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait to see what we have down the road.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I only know I can help you that much more.
Exactly. Rahul Sondhi, welcome to the It's Not That Deep podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Man, this is crazy because you're my brother. It's kind of weird having you sitting here on my podcast because we've been talking about this for so long.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a long time been trying to schedule this, you know. You've been hinting at it. I've been talking about it. But here we are, bro. It's finally happened.
Finally, man. It's been a while, and I've been wanting to do it, but both our busy schedules, you know.
Yeah.
Finally happened.
So here we are, episode 29, man.
Shit.
For people listening who don't know, me and Rahul go way, way back. Way before we were the people we are sitting before you today.
That's facts.
We were little goofballs. I think I met you, I want to say grade 8.
Yeah, grade 8. Is that when you came to Maple Ridge? That's or grade 7?
Yeah, grade 8. I came in grade 8.
Yeah, it was grade 8, man.
That's when we met, and
that was
man,
heavy throwbacks.
Crazy throwback, man. That's back when like things were just so simple, but also just so weird. Like, you know, we're like right before high school. Like, for people listening who don't know like how the Canadian like school system works, it goes like elementary school to then like I guess middle school, but we had elementary school going up to grade 8, and then you would do high school, which is secondary school, goes from 9 to 12, and then post-secondary, which is uni. But we pretty much stayed together in school for most of that period of time, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, elementary to high school to university.
Yeah.
Till now.
Till now, man. And it wasn't always an easy journey.
No, that's
but
for sure.
I remember, and this is funny, like I didn't plan this podcast at all. I had to sit down and think, like, what are the things I'm going to ask him?
Man, we're boys.
But I do remember, man, when I first, like, met you or knew you, I knew you through, like, the goons or the you know, the boys that I knew through football. And I guess you had maybe played ball. Or, I don't know. You were friends with all these. We had all the same mutual friends.
Yeah, mutual friends throughout. So at elementary school, when you first came to Maple Ridge, we knew similar people, but we didn't know each other. And we met each other through our mutual friends, which was weird enough because you came from a separate elementary school.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And back then, if you're from another elementary school, nobody knows you.
It's like you're an outsider.
Exactly.
It's like you're the new kid.
Exactly.
I still specifically remember being the new kid. I remember coming to the Maple Ridge that first day, and like, you know that feeling? I don't know, like it's such a weird feeling. You're like, man, I was like hot shit for 7 years. Everyone knows me. I was like, you know, the guy. And I abandoned all my friends just because my parents moved to one, like 5 minutes away. I had to technically go to a different school. Yeah. So here I am. I'm like, bro, like, I gotta like start over. Like, I gotta like, in the last year.
It's a big change.
It was a weird change, but next thing you know, I'm like, I know these guys.
Yeah.
And I had the football thing, so I could always use that.
It worked out for you, but I mean, it doesn't work like that for everybody. You know, some people change all over the place.
100%.
For me personally, bro, that would have been hard. Changing my last year, grade 7, before I graduate in grade 8, and then after go off to high school where I'm going to re-meet all my old elementary school friends, it's a big change.
It's awkward.
It is.
Because it's like, so much happens in a year. Especially in those years, your school year means so much to you. So much goes on. There's so much, like every recess, there's all kinds of like dumb shit
going on there.
I don't even want to like.
I'm not going into detail.
We don't have to go into detail some of the dumb things we did, but I remember, and this is funny, man. Like, I didn't like you at first.
Oh, I know. I hated you.
I did not like you.
I wasn't going to disclose that on the podcast.
No, we're open, bro, because it's it's funny because like you're one of my closest friends now.
Yeah.
But back then I was like, What's this guy got his pants down to his knees for? Who is this guy? Who does he think he is?
Man,
Like,
wore the hat crooked,
the hat, like
the
just,
baggy clothes.
But I think, and I'm trying to remember, was it someone like Mr. Renaud or something? We had to do some project together.
Yeah.
And that was the first time you and me like kind of hung out on the ones for this project. And we're like, bro, we have everything in common. We're both like Punjabi, like you
Come
guys
from the same bend.
So yeah, probably trace it back. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Bend, by the way, means like same like
Village.
Sect, yeah,
like,
same village. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, our parents are both Punjabis, but also Hindus, which is like actually the minority in Punjab. So
correct.
So it's like that's also crazy because then all that to say we both live in the same subsection of Ottawa and we're boys. Like,
yeah,
and I guess
that
it all
really
started
doesn't happen very often.
No, that's too crazy.
That one is that deep.
That one is that deep. That one, like, I actually never actively think about this because we just don't.
Exactly.
But then, like, now I'm trying to think of like tracing back the roots. But, anyways, bro, all that to say, we've come a long way, and then we went to high school, really close there.
Yeah.
You know, we have our friend groups. Like I saw one day, like I think we had like a, you know how Facebook sends you notification like you and this guy been friends for X many years or some shit. And like, and I just saw the mutual friends. I don't think there's another person I have more mutual friends with than you. Fun fact.
Yeah,
there's no one
over
else.
like 300-400.
Over,
easily.
I think it's in the 500s. It's
That's
like, what?
crazy.
That's so crazy how two people's networks can overlap so much.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to like how much we have in common, and then, but then also how much we don't have in common, which is also fucking hilarious, man. But anyways, so then, you know, getting done with high school, we're all trying to figure our lives out. Man. What's the next
Rough
step?
path.
Yo, it was not easy. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Man, like, so for me, like, I had no idea what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I told my parents, like, yeah, I'll be a heart surgeon. Like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. Like, just, you know, you like as an immigrant, you just say what you think is gonna make your parents happy, right?
Oh, most definitely, especially coming from an immigrant background, right? So coming from an immigrant background, we have certain expectations. Not everyone can fully agree with this or relate to this, but for us it's something like we have certain expectations we have to hit because our parents worked so hard, came here all the way to Canada, worked so hard to get here, and then after they expect their kids to do certain things, and they have those high expectations for us. Become an engineer, become a doctor, become an accountant, lawyer, finance, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't hit those things, man, you're next to dead.
That's the thing,
but,
man.
Like, you know what I mean? At the time, at least.
At the time, it really feels that way. But now as I'm getting older, I'm learning that it all came from a great place.
Of course.
It wasn't ever like a bad thing. Like, we joke about it and this and that. It was all out of love and also understanding their sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Like, they sacrifice so much. Man, you better do some shit with your life. You better not just like settle for whatever, you know?
No,
whatever that may be. So I completely understand where they're coming from. But as a lost 15, 16, 17-year-old, how are you expected to make just crazy decisions that impact the trajectory of the rest of your life?
Oh, 100%. And you're stuck in high school at like 16, some of us 17, max 18, figuring out the rest of your life because you're going to university or college or whatever. Some people don't, but you're going to university or college and you have to figure out the rest of your life because that degree is you're going in a shitload of debt for that degree. You know what I mean?
Facts. And that's your career. Then that's what you get up and you're going to do every day of your life. Man, when you're 16, 17, you don't know what you're doing for dinner that night. You don't know, like, what's going on next week. Like, you're so lost in hormones and you're confused and crazy. It's just a wild time. But
most definitely.
I always was almost jealous of those people who like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. I know what I'm doing. And, like, they actually kind of, like, took those steps and followed through on that.
Yeah, but you can't say they're all happy.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? They kind of stuck with it. And you know what? I actually personally know people you personally know that they thought that's what they wanted, man. Third year university, they're switching programs and starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, man. Yeah. It's a whole change. Right now, they're third year university, you're 21, 22.
Yeah.
Now you're restarting and you got another 4 years ahead of you. So
Yeah.
21, 22, you're not finishing university till you're 25, 26.
Yep.
And if you want to do a master's or a PhD or whatever, bro, I don't know, man. School's got me conflicted personally. It's always has, and you know that.
Yeah, man.
So I've had my personal ups and downs.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's tough, man, because for me, and like coming back to it, it was like, well, I guess I'll study business. You know, it's a very common thing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
I can say the same.
So you and me, like, we were kind of, I guess, talking about this too. Is like, all right, well, I guess we'll just like do business or like management. Like, when I was looking at the options, remember, it's like accounting, marketing. I'm like, nah.
Finance.
All these, I'm like, I don't know.
International management and management.
Yeah.
That's it. We had 5 options.
That's pretty much
that's it.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything else at the time. Now
there's like, you know, e-com, this, that, blah, 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 all these different like options. And I'm not taking away anything from anyone now, but then it was like, well, do I want to just like be a manager? I guess.
What does management get me?
I don't even
do
know.
I just be a manager at like, you know, Loblaws? That's fine. Like,
am I going into debt for that?
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, I applied, you applied as well. And you want to take it from here? Tell your side of it, man. I know it's not easy, but
no. So I mean, not everyone knows my story and all, but like to where I am now, you know, I had a long path to get there. So I mean, not to say I'm anywhere in my life, but you know, I've had my ups and downs. So I mean, after high school, it was great and all. You know, I was going to Ottawa U. I got accepted, so I applied to business, and I got accepted in business. You know.
Yep.
And so, you know, you always get these emails and they're all conditional offers, but, you know, you think it's all gravy, it's all good. So the day of my prom, you know, I had you sitting in my car. I had our prom date sitting in the car. I had a Seth sitting in my car, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm waiting for my prom date at the time and patiently waiting. And I look at my phone. Of course, I go through my emails and I check. I got an email. At the time, I was going to Carleton University. So I checked my emails, and the day of my prom, my conditional offer got rejected. So, I mean, I'm laughing about it now because it was funny at the time. You know what I mean? I mean, it was funny now, but not at the time, no, I was devastated. You guys all saw my face, man.
Yo, the guy was from sad, bro.
Yeah, from smiling, bro, into like completely pissed off. You know what I mean? But that was my prom day, and so you know, I did the best to enjoy it. I had a great time. But despite the fact, you know, the next day I was back to reality. You know, what am I going to do? My offer just got declined. And now what am I going to do with this? Blah, blah, blah. So I ended up, I had multiple options where I could go to Ottawa U for something I didn't want to go to. In a program I didn't want to be in. I can go to Carleton for a program I didn't want to be in. Or I can go to Algonquin for business. But, in an immigrant family, I would say, college is not super frowned upon. It's not.
It's just that university is more prestigious.
Yeah, prestigious. So I mean, my parents actually encouraged me to go to college, but I kind of had that. I worked so hard to get into university, and I actually got accepted, and last minute got canceled. So I chose to take that step back and chose not to go to college. Not saying that it was a bad option, because it probably would have been the better option if I was to go back now and pick and choose. I probably would have went to college. But what I ended up doing was, as you know, I went back to high school. It was a big hit on my ego. People who know me know I got a lot of pride and ego, so it was a big hit on that. And so, I mean, I couldn't go back to my old high school. I had to go to adult high school. So I went to adult high school for a semester. Ended up raising one course in particular, and I had to start back into university. I got in January as a part-time student. In September, I ended up getting into university, into business, what I originally wanted, with a scholarship. So it kind of ended up working out a little better.
Yeah.
I mean, but I was a year behind, which was a little discouraging.
Right.
And then, you know, throughout my 5 years of university, I still had my ups and downs.
Wasn't easy.
It wasn't an easy path. So ended up, you know, going into business, finishing 3 years of business, and then let's just say I didn't finish with a business degree.
Yeah.
I ended up finishing 3 years of business, and then long story short, which I will not get into detail about, I had to switch out programs, and so I switched out, and I just wanted to finish my degree at that point. So I had a year left of business, a year and a half actually left of business. And I wanted to see what my options were, so I ended up finishing with that communications degree because it was the quickest option of finishing school, because by then I had my business running.
Right, which we'll definitely get into.
Yeah, which we'll get into. So I had a business running, and when I had to make that switch already, so I wanted to see which courses would transfer over the most, and they told me if you transfer into communications, you'll just have 1 year of school, you'll have about 9 courses left. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'll do. I just want to transfer. I just want to finish off a degree, because at this point I already know what I want to do, at least for the meantime, because I had a business running full time. You know what I mean? So I needed to figure out how to balance school and business.
Yeah, that was a tough time, because I remember you being so conflicted. Like we would always talk about it. Like, man, yeah, like I gotta go to school, but like I got this other thing that I'm doing. Now, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
So, for those who don't know, you're a personal trainer, but more than just a personal trainer. You actually run your own business that you started from the ground up yourself. Plug it. What's it called?
All right. So, my company's called Performance Fitness Canada.
Yeah.
What we do is we're mobile trainers. So currently it's me and myself. I have had staff in the past, and currently do have some working for me. But currently it's what we do is we're mobile trainers. We go to people's houses, condos, apartments, and etc., and train people at the convenience of their own homes. So it takes people away from the gym, people who are scared, intimidated, whatever. And some people who have home gyms, condo gyms,
or some people who just don't have the time.
Yeah, or just don't have the time, right? So it's all about convenience right now. Everything in our society right now is based off of convenience. So it is, not everyone will like training at home, but everything you can do in a gym, you can do at home, minus the machines, right?
Right.
Like, machines are just an extra, it's great to have, but it's not a need.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely not a need to have. So that's why the business model works. So that's what we do. And I mean, I've had my company for about 2.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. That's 2.5 years. Started while I was in university, took it part-time. I was working a job, trying to start up my business.
So let's sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Let me slow you down a bit, and let's take a step back. And why did you what was the itch to actually get your certification? What was it? What was it about fitness and personal training that even sparked?
Going back.
Yeah,
we're going back.
Well, I mean, you don't just start a business for no reason, right?
So, wow. All right, so we're going far back to this. So the reason I got into fitness was because when I was at a younger age, not everyone knows this, but I used to get bullied. So I used to get bullied for being such a skinny kid. I mean, multiple factors, but I was always a very small kid. And when we're talking small, I'm talking grade 9, grade 10, 90 pounds. And that's like skin and bone for someone who's like 5'7" in probably grade 9, 10. You know, I was still growing, and I'm 90 pounds. You know what I mean? So, I was bullied more so in elementary school, and then I slowly got into. I always wanted to. People were telling me, "You gotta eat more. You gotta eat more." And you know how much I would eat.
The guy eats as much as me, if not more.
Yeah, like I would eat, man. It just wouldn't gain the weight. My metabolism was so fast.
Man, I was jealous.
But like, yeah, I would not gain a pound. So then that's what got me into fitness originally, you know? So I started working out when I was about 15, 16, not taking it seriously. I mean, I just hit the gym because my family got a gym membership. So we got our gym membership, and I started going. I mean, I took my old friend Ben to the gym. I remember, you know, Ben. If you ever listen to this, Ben, you know, shout out to you, fam. But
shout out Ben
I took Ben J. But I went to the gym, you know, and slowly I started taking it seriously, you know. My older brother, he taught me a few things. Then we ended up, I just learned from my cousins, my family, YouTube videos, and all this, you know what I mean? And I started gaining weight. And then people started noticing, and then I kind of liked the feeling, but it was just more so, I'm not that small kid anymore. Not to say I'm not a big guy, you know what I mean? But
Right.
from where I came from, I've doubled my weight. If like even more than doubled my weight, you know what I mean?
100%.
So I came, you knew me back then, and you know how small I was, and that's what really got me into fitness. So I actually started to love it. I started to enjoy it, and so that's when I was like, you know what? Maybe I can make something out of this. So my family ended up hiring a personal trainer, and
I remember this.
yeah, so my family ended up hiring a personal trainer, and I watched a few times, and I'm like, fuck, like I can do this shit. You know what I mean? Like this I know all this. Why am I not my parents' personal trainer?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, why are they paying someone to do what I can do?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I asked him a few questions. I'm like, how do you get your certification? What do you do? Blah blah blah. And so what ended up happening was I ended up working for him. He's like, hey man, go get your certification and I'll hire you. I was like, sure, no problem. So I ended up getting my certification, and he ended up hiring me as a trainer. I got about 6 months experience with him, and I was like, you know what? I think I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
So
that's where you're just learning the ropes.
Exactly.
You're just like, the ins and outs of the business.
Of course.
You know the training part, but it's like, okay, how do I...
The business side,
how do I
right?
do with clients? How do I book clients? How do I... all the different things.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So I got about 6 months experience. Not to say that that's super long. I mean, maybe I could have got more experience and a longer width of time. But you know what? I felt comfortable enough to launch my own business. Maybe not take it full time, but take it part time because I was still in school. You know,
started off as a side hustle.
Exactly. It started off strictly as a side hustle. And so then I started doing that. I opened up my own company, which is Performance Fitness Canada.
Yep.
And I started training part-time while I was in school. Yeah. And then I had multiple gyms approach me for like job offers and stuff. I ended up taking one just simply because they knew I was running my own business, and they allowed me to still help them out because they needed a trainer. So I took a few clients there. But now I strictly run my own company full time. So while I was in school, I was doing full-time school, part-time work.
Yeah, so you were working for the city at a gym as well. So you were already like involved in the space. You already you already kind of knew about the gym and like what you did at the gym, what trainers do at the gym, how to actually get people like,
interested in the sales part. It's right when running a business, it's not only about what you do, it's you got to kind of pitch a sales point of view, you know what I mean? You got to sell yourself. And
it's even harder with your model, well, in that aspect, because these people aren't just coming to you like with a physical gym, say.
No, exactly.
People are like, come help me.
Yeah,
make me lose weight, make me get strong, make me do this. Whereas with your business, it's a little bit more like you had to teach yourself the sales. And the marketing aspect.
Of course, right? You're starting from ground up. You have nobody teaching you these things, and you got to teach yourself, right? A lot of trial and error. A lot of things go on where like I figure out, all right, this works, this strategy works with clients, and this doesn't. But one thing, like, I take myself away from gyms, and because I know a lot of friends who work for gyms, and they kind of follow a script of sales, a sales script.
Yeah.
Whereas I tell all my clients and people I meet and all my consultations I have, I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to take your money more so. I'm just here to help you out. You know what I mean? I'm here to make a difference in your life. Because that's what I genuinely love to do.
Yeah.
Right? I genuinely love what I do. It's fun for me. It doesn't feel like a job or a chore or anything. Like, I go to work, quote unquote, work every day, happy. You know what I mean? I know I'm making a difference in someone's life.
It's so validating.
Yeah, it is, man.
You're seeing the progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, right? So I just finished work with a client, and I've been working with her for just 1 month now. You know what I mean? And today she just finished telling me, like, man, I already feel so much better. And she's already down about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And before she couldn't move, she couldn't walk much. Like, she's like, man, I have never felt this good in so long because she's had so many problems in her past life. And now she's like more mobile and I was like, listen, it's only been a month.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait to see what we have down the road.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I only know I can help you that much more.
Exactly. Like, we're just scratching the surface. We're just building the foundations right now. We haven't even got to like the real results and building lifelong habits. And fitness is such a weird thing, man, because everyone knows that they should be working out or eating healthier or doing this, and you know, everyone knows, everyone does. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
say what you want, like about people's willpower and this and that. It's like we all know, but then life happens, and you know, it's very easy to just put that aspect of your life on the back burner.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so stressed out with work, or this relationship's going wrong, or this is happening, or this person's in the hospital. Like the fitness can take a back seat, but at
no,
the
100%.
end, but at the end of the day, your health is all you have.
Health is wealth, fam.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth.
So I find it very interesting because, like, the personal training aspect, and I used to even like almost write it off, because like growing up, I always kind of like, I knew the basics of how to work out. I was an athlete, so I was never really worried about like the fitness aspect of you know, just going to the gym just to train for the sake of training. I was like, man, like, you people don't even understand. No, I genuinely thought like this. I was like, I'm an athlete. You could be an athlete. Anyone can be an athlete
if they put the time and day.
It just seems so simple to me. But then, you know, things happen in my life as well, where fitness took a complete back seat. And I had gotten to a point where I gained over 85 pounds.
I remember that time.
I got to the fattest, like, it was a very dark time in my life. 100%. And like, you know, a variety of factors contributed to that, you know, whether it be losing my sport and having a surgery, you know, going to university without one of my best friends, or like all pretty much like went alone on this journey, right? And so many different things like contributed. Partying, drinking in excess, like binge drinking. Like, I'm talking about, like, this is my first time having any kind of like experience, you know, with beer and this and that, and then you add stress and school and all these things. It's a bunch of factors, but
there is.
It can slip without you even like realizing it. So I have so much empathy for people who, you know, and not just like you know, like overweight, but you know, underweight, but just body image issues in general. I remember walking up, you know, at Demarais building, you walk up the flight of stairs to get to the second floor. I remember walking up that and almost needing a break.
Ooh.
And I'm like, bro, I thought I was an athlete. Like, I thought I should be fit. And so all that to say, like, fitness was something that I had to find again and enjoy and love and make it a part of my life, even though
of course,
you know me, and I'll maintain to this day, I don't love going to the gym and working out. It's not like something it's like that, just like I wake up and like, let's go pump iron. Like, it's not my thing, man. It's like I do it because I know I have to, and it makes you feel good after. That's what the feeling,
bro. The dopamine levels that go up, you know, it's crazy.
And I'm like addicted to that. It's not a
bad
addiction.
It's the feeling that you're addicted to, not more so doing and going to the gym, but it's the after feeling of the gym.
After feeling, you feel so accomplished, even if you had not the best workout. You're like, still worked out, still feel good. Doesn't matter. Great, check that box. So you're and sorry, this is such a long random rant.
No. Because I know about it, but I still like hearing about it because I knew a lot of the mental things you were going through at that time. Right, and a lot of the times I remember pushing you and telling you, you should do this, you should do that, and you know, there's a lot of Maple Ridge memories, aka elementary school memories, high school memories, and just, you know, where this all went, maybe not so elementary, but more so high school, late high school, you know, when this all took an effect, and just trying to motivate you to do these different things, you know 100%. What I mean, and go to the gym or eat better or do this, or when we're out, okay, maybe you shouldn't choose this, just like, you know, not in a rude way, but more so, yo, I'm your homie, you know what I mean,
I'm looking out for you,
I'm looking out for you, you know what I mean, maybe you know, you should choose not to eat that because it's not the best for your health at this moment.
Exactly, and like it's having friends like that in your life that's so important, that are gonna say that, because after a while it's stuck.
No,
I'm like, shit, maybe they're right. Maybe I should do something. All that in a roundabout way, what I'm saying is, I used to think that personal trainers, like, oh, what a scam. Like, why would someone pay this much money? The motivation and accountability aspect of it is so goddamn important, because if you don't, a lot of people are wired this way, where if you don't have somebody to
push you and
motivate you, check up on you, which you do. I know you do this 100%. Very well. You have a very good relationship with all of your clients. They all have amazing things to say about you, and we'll talk a lot more about clients without their identity and stuff, but we'll talk about some of those testimonials as well. But like, what's really like powerful about you and your journey is like, you've always been able to influence and motivate and get people pumped up. So carrying that into a business has been very interesting to me, because did you always see it as that way, like I can help people achieve their goals? Or at first, like, what was your thought process when you're like, I'm gonna be a trainer? Like, what was it like? It was like, yo, what am I?
Well, one thing I always knew I was kind of good at was giving people advice. So it was like being around me or being around other people, growing up, whether it was elementary school, high school, university, and till this day, you know what I mean? I have a lot of people that just come to me for advice.
Right.
Whether it's life advice, business advice, relationship advice, like whatever it is. I've gone through a long path in my life, I personally think, at such a young age. R.I.P. to her, but like a lot of things through my life that I've gone through at such a young age and up until now that, I think that I give a good piece of advice, whether it's to you or anybody else. You know what I mean? I think I got a good head on my shoulders. That's also from my family. A lot to do with my family ties. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where it started, where I was like, okay, you know what? And I've always been an enthusiastic and outgoing person.
Right.
So when I saw, like, my parents get a personal trainer, I was like, yo, shit's pretty easy. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I love helping people.
Right.
I do it on a day-to-day basis. I love fitness. Mm-hmm. So why don't I just try and make a business out of this? Like, it can't be that hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know the ins and outs of fitness.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know kind of not everything, because nobody knows everything, but I know a lot. You know what I mean? I had a lot of knowledge. I've had a personal trainer in my past. You know what I mean? I had my own trainer to teach me things. So I was like, yo, and I got the job experience after that. So I was like, yo, you know what? It can't be that hard launching a business. It can't be that tough. So when I took a part-time in university, it was like, okay, let's just see where this goes. And I might do this. I was working that city job at a gym / pool. And then after that, I was while running my business and while being in school, I was like, I just kind of saw where it went. And then my last year of school, my business took off, which was about 6 months into my business. So my business kind of picked up a lot where I was working full time. And then I decided to take that last year part time.
Right.
Where I took 3 courses, 1 semester, and 2 courses my last semester, and I graduated. You know what I mean? So that's where it kind of went off, was just more so
one thing that really stuck with me about like your journey and like what, I'll get you some water, bro.
No, that's all good. Thank you.
One thing that really stuck with me about your journey and like your like learning style so far is that you're constantly learning. Even on your job, you're constantly teaching yourself more and more things. But as I know you growing up, you're not a typical book learner. You're not the type of guy to sit in a class lecture and absorb what a prof is saying. And this is not like, it's not a bad thing. Everyone learns differently. But that route, and I know we've already talked about it, wasn't really
my route.
Your route. You still finished it, and kudos to you for like checking that box. But do you ever think sometimes that like, yo, imagine if I just didn't even go to school?
If I didn't go to school.
And I just learned the way I learned, double down on that. Do you think about that sometimes?
I do, because I think about like, you know what? I use school as a plan Z. You know what I mean? Like school is my last resort. Like my parents always told me, like my father always used to say, like, excuse me, my apologies. Okay. But he used to say, like, And he still says like, yo, you know what? It's good that you got your degree. You know, it's a fallback for you because I'm considered an entrepreneur. You know, you run your own business, but it's a fallback. It's a fallback. Yes, it's a fallback, but my personality type and the type of person I am, I never enjoyed school. You knew me since elementary. I hated it. High school, I hated it. University, I did it. And I mean, I'm happy I finished with it. I did take some things from school, but I mean, if I could go back and say like, hey, what would I do with those 5 years? I mean, 6 years almost, because I went back to high school for a semester, but I didn't start university till a year after. So 6 years of my life, what would I do, man? Oh man, I think a lot would be different right now. You know what I mean?
I think it too, and even though I may be like on paper a bit of a better student in the traditional sense, I struggled in uni as well. I struggled a lot. It was not like my learning style. I hated it. I hated it as well. It was a big contributor to a lot of my health issues at that time. And then there's also the pressure of, even if you're doing well in school, it's not enough.
No,
you got to do all these extracurriculars and all these other things and clubs and networking and involvement. So all that while holding down a part-time job, while balancing too many like things to balance, you know? So, sorry, say what you were going to say.
I think the system is just, you know, go to school, work a job. It's like, buy a house, buy a car,
retire, get a boat, collect your pension.
It's
like, what?
It's like, I just can't follow that system. That's not how I'm wired. That's not how you're wired. I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's the way kind of, I'll say us, we're wired is more so, you know, grind until we make it to the top.
It's like I see,
where we want to make it is up in that top 1% of people. You know what I mean?
I'd be lying if I said any other like vision for myself. It's like, and it's not to speak down on people. It's not to say that path is a bad path.
No, it's definitely not.
It's a great one for a lot of people, and like some people have different priorities. Like some people just want to settle down, have a family, have that, you know, picket fence.
Comfortable life.
Comfortable life.
Yeah, comfortable life.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely
I'm not saying that, but it's like sometimes some people want more, and for me, I think the big thing that woke that up for me was being able to travel, and having that opportunity to see more outside of just what this is. But wrapping it all back up to what you were saying, what I was saying is that I really appreciate your level of self-awareness and knowing I learned my own way. You mentioned something, I think we were just like together a couple of days ago. You're like, I have a client with some health issue, and I didn't have as much experience with this kind of health issue. So I had to, you know, look it up and get educated on the topic so I can help them.
Of course.
And you like that's learning, that's application. That's like no textbook is gonna
teach me that.
No multiple choice exam that you did in your life helped you do that. Learn that way.
That's actually that's very true. You know what I mean? Every client is different. You know, every job is different. And sometimes you'll get some things that'll throw you curveballs or whatever, whether it's life, jobs, relationships, anything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for my personal experience in this, you know, I had this client who I was a little like thrown off by some of the physical issues she had. And I was like, okay, shit, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to help this client no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I told her that I'm going to help her.
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to help her. And so I started doing a lot of research on my own time, just research. And I figured out the way to help her.
Nice.
And I'll fix her up. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, I can't wait till she starts seeing all the results.
That's probably going to be so satisfying.
No, it's going to be 100%. Because the other day she just messaged me and she's like, thank you for everything. And I've only seen her a handful of times. You know what I mean?
Because you can imagine she might have had some horrible experiences before with other people who might have just written her off completely. You're like, nah, man, I'll take the challenge. Let's do it. Let's get you to your fitness goals.
No, that's exactly.
Now let's pivot a bit and talk about how does a client reach out to you and start working with you. Walk me through the process and what your training style is like. what your workout plans are like.
All right, cool.
Do you have nutrition components? Things like
100%.
that.
So I have multiple sources of like where a client can reach out to me, whether that's a free version of Kijiji, that's like a free source of marketing for me, whether that's Facebook advertising / Instagram, any social media platform. Shout out to Hayden for doing all my marketing, man. Without
Hayden
you,
and Cash and Marketing, man. Let's talk about that relationship a little bit. We'll dive in back into the process after.
No problem.
Let's talk about what Hayden does for you.
Hayden does all my social media marketing. So he takes care of any sort of social media ads. So all my content that I run, mainly throughout Facebook. That's my primary source right now, just because my target market is 35 plus. So, long story short, we agreed to just run it on Facebook. It's just a better a platform for us currently, for myself currently. But I did start on Instagram very recently. It is a little late. I mean, my company's been running for about 2 years, but I have been very consistent on Instagram now, so you can see some of my testimonials, client transformations, and etc. I'll be releasing new videos, content every single week.
Right.
But Hayden does all of my social media marketing.
Right.
Develops all my content for all my Facebook ads. Makes sure that they're running properly, retargeting properly, and make sure I'm getting all the leads necessary.
And it's been working.
And it's been working phenomenally.
So that's one thing I will say, and that's why I don't mind and I actually enjoy plugging Hayden, is he delivers.
He's fantastic at what he does.
Delivers results. But getting back to it, so now that you're kind of increasing your social media, there's other channels and other ways that people can now reach you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I want to get trained by you. I message you from an Instagram ad that I see.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
So,
what next?
So you have multiple options. So first step is booking that free consultation. So I generally book a free consultation with all my clients. That's where it's kind of a meet and greet. So whether it's a phone call, I generally like meeting the clients just so I can get to know them, meet them face to face. And I go through a series of questions. Get to know them personally, get to know them, what their goals are, if they have any injuries, and etc. You know what I mean? It goes really deep. And then after that, we take their body measurements, see all the ups and downs I need to work with, and kind of go from there. So they can reach me. A lot of people reach me through Facebook, Instagram, Kijiji, and word of mouth.
Word of mouth. I mean? No, that's probably
that's
the biggest one to start.
That is. You know what I mean? I have a lot of people talk about me in the city. And the business is doing well. It's good. I love what I do.
Well, the results speak for themselves, and you can, if anyone wants to go check out right now, go Performance Fitness Canada on Instagram. You check out the client testimonials. You've put some up. I've seen one or two.
Yeah. Facebook has a lot of client testimonials. Yeah. My website has a lot of testimonials. Instagram is slowly getting more testimonials. Yeah. I'm posting them slowly week by week.
Yeah. So it's like it's proof.
Yeah.
It's social proof, and it's like it's not that like you're just talking out of your ass like, oh yeah, I help clients. Like, go look. And these are client testimonials that they are writing. Yeah. Themselves, like, who will change my life? Lost X many pounds. Fitted my wedding dress. This, like, all these, like.
No, that's exactly it.
You've been doing it, and you help all kinds of people of all different ages. So. Yeah. I love your business. I've always looked up to you. I've always been like very impressed that like you're actually an entrepreneur doing it. Yeah. You just decided, from whatever experience you've had in the past working in office settings or this setting, that setting, that's not for me. That's not. You don't enjoy that kind of lifestyle.
Not personally, but I mean, you never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Maybe one day I will like an office job and I might want to work one. But
you can't close any doors.
No, I can't close any doors. You know
we're still young, but I don't see it happening, dude.
No, neither do I.
I don't see you like going from having that. And here's the thing, like entrepreneurship is so glorified in like the age we live in. People don't see that you are working. Start of the day to end of the day, you are working.
Yeah, my day starts sometimes like tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
My day starts. I gotta leave my house by 6:30.
Yeah.
First client at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
and I'm booked all the way.
And you're driving to these people's houses, bringing equipment around.
It's a mobile service,
Yeah.
right? So it's like hauling all my equipment, client to client to client. Well, some clients have their condo gyms. Like my first client tomorrow morning has a condo gym, so I don't have to bring much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every condo gym doesn't have everything I want, because there's some things that I bring that a lot of condo gyms don't have, but a gym like Good Life or Movati would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not all gyms have it. So there is a lot of things. So sometimes I do bring some of my own equipment, whether they have a full size gym, home gym, whatever it is. But yeah, like, I mean, it's packed up from start to finish, day to day. You know what I mean?
One thing, like, I specifically remember, and it stuck with me, is earlier this year, you and me got to go to Vancouver together and visit some friends and family. And, we were driving to, like, Whistler, or I don't remember the name of the place, and there was no, like, reception. And you were kind of not freaking out, but, like, I got this client or this person calling me, and I need to make this phone call. I'm like, bro, chill, you're on vacation. Like, let it go. It's like, no, man, this is very important. I told this person I would be calling them at this time. I'm expecting this call, and it's not like, yo, I have to do it. I'm like, bro, like, whatever, man.
We pulled over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we pulled over, found some service, and you made the call. Like,
we pulled over. I'm laughing because you were so pissed off. But I was like, yo, business comes first. I was like, yo, even though I'm on vacation, I still got to work.
I get
Technically, you know what I mean?
But that's like, to that point, is like, it never stops. It's a 24-hour job. You gave up the chance to, or not the chance, but the choice to work a 9 to 5 to work 24/7.
That's one way to put it.
Hey, your brain's never off. Even like sometimes, like, we'll be at a restaurant and stuff. You're texting clients. You're doing like you have 2 phones, for God's sake. Like, this guy puts 2 phones on the table. I'm like, bro, man.
I'm actually dying. Yeah, that is true, man. But you know what? You gotta. It's kind of like work hard, play hard. You know what I mean? I do that, and I'm available 24/7 to all my clients, and I tell all my clients that,
right?
Because they have access to me 24/7. No matter what time of day it is, I don't care. I will do my best to answer you. So that's why I do have 2 phones, yes, but my business phone is always on me, because I want to be available to my clients,
right?
At all times, no matter where I am, whether it's midnight, whether it's 5 a.m., whether it's 2 p.m., you know what I mean? But I tell them I might not answer the minute they text me.
Right.
I might answer as soon as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as possible.
Well, you're driving around a lot, right? So, like, it's when you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense, man. Let's talk about, like, let's take a step back and talk a little bit more about what are some of the goals with the business. What's the next step? What's next?
Yeah, so I actually so recently I haven't really told anybody. So I'm kind of drifting. So right now we're mobile, and we're sticking to being mobile. But I'm starting an online portion. So starting online packages, so online workout plans, meal plans, and etc. Because back to where we were before, I didn't kind of finish of where my business stands. And what we do on a day-to-day basis is, I'll briefly explain that, is we not only go to our clients 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week, whatever you schedule, is we book our consults, we figure out what your needs are, what your wants are, and I give you the best option in order to, whether it's lose weight, gain weight, gain muscle mass, gain lean muscle mass, girls who want big booties, we got you too, you know what I mean? Like, whatever you want, 100%. I can make it happen, you know what I mean? I've dealt with next to every single thing, you know what I mean? There's always something new that hits me with a curveball. But
athletes?
Have had athletes in the past.
Yeah. Have you ever had someone just be like, help me with my flexibility?
Yeah, more mobility. Yes. Yeah, more mobility. Yes. 100%,
Anyways, continue.
Man.
Yeah.
I had one client, man. I went on walks with her, in the forest, and then after in the forest, after our walks or during the walks, we'd pop a few squats, pop a few lunges, this that.
That's
But
awesome.
like, man, it's
exercise is exercise.
yeah, exactly. That's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have much of a choice in that one. Like, she wasn't taking my discretion, but she's like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But she was willing to follow the meal plan that we provide. You know what I mean? In every single package, we provide meal plans. So with, food, diet, food and diet / exercise, it's all one big combination. You got to do both.
Yeah.
But
that was a bitter pill I had to swallow.
Yeah, man. It's not all about exercise.
You can't
right?
just go train your ass off and then eat half of or a whole pizza
Whole
or whatever.
pizza
You know what I'm
yourself.
saying?
Nah, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you do, man, I don't know.
I wish you
a
could,
lot of.
though.
I mean, not. I don't know. I know, but yeah, I wish you could too. You know, that's what my body used to do. No cap.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, man. So the nutrition component, the fitness component, you got it all.
Yeah, we got it all. We offer everything. You know what I mean? So whatever you need related to fitness, we got it. And so yeah, so what I'm drifting the business to now is on the side component is going online. So online training. Online training is very popular. It's different than the mobile training.
Right, because you're not physically there.
No, exactly. We're not physically there, but a lot of people do ask if, hey, I know how to work out, but I want a new training program. Or, hey, I know how to work out, but I want a diet.
Or
right?
I need the accountability. I start a plan and I always don't have the commitment to follow through.
Exactly. So we offer different Well, I'm in the midst of offering different packages. I haven't started. I've been working on it. But
it's coming.
It's not completed yet. Hopefully within the next few weeks it will all be said and done, and we'll start marketing it. But
that's the move, man. Because look at the market. Look at the scalability of that from a business standpoint. Look how many more people you could target. And you work with our boy Hayden. You send him to the right people.
Yeah. Not only Hayden, man. Nasha helps out a lot.
Nasha, shout out to Nasha. Big shout out to Nasha, bro.
Shout out to everyone.
His social media knowledge and his knowledge of the ins and outs of. I mean, I'll be honest. He made my website.
Oh man, he made Performance Fitness Canada, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy, he's also a marketing guru.
Yeah.
Next to Hayden, bro, he's a marketing guru.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't do social media as a job. You know what I mean? He does it more as a favor from a friend to friend.
Right.
But I'm sure he'll one day he'll launch his own marketing company and he'll be booming too, along with Hayden. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, he built Performance Fitness Canada. He built It's Not That Deep.
He did.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, man. So.
But so with the online offering, so coming back to it, what kind of how do you train someone online? Like, do you tell them put their phone? Like, let's say they want one-on-one.
So
it's just plans.
Yeah. So I mean, virtual training is something, but honestly, it's really not popular. Nor is it something I probably
it seems hard to implement.
Yeah, really want to do. Really want to drift my company towards. So I won't be going that route, but it's more so. It's giving plans out, right? And so what they can follow is with every single plan that I offer. So let's say I give you a personalized workout, right? According to your goals. So there'll be like booty gains, there'll be weight loss, there'll be weight gain, bulking, lean bulking, whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever you want, I will have available in the different packages. But there'll be workout videos for every single workout that is there. There'll be workout videos to follow. So if they don't know how to do it, they can click on the link or the video and it will play them on an instructional video on how to do the workout.
Right. So you'll show them the whole form of everything.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's really important because, I could go to bodybuilding.com right now and there are thousands. We've all done it.
Yeah, I know.
We've all gone to an 8-week shred or like a 12-week bulk cut. I don't know what the fuck. All these random things. And you do it for a couple of weeks and it's just like, I don't know.
I'm not seeing the results I want to see.
Yeah, I don't even know how exactly to do the exercise and like why do I have to do this backwards inverted row bent over weird complicated movement when like I could just go to my boy Performance Fitness and he could just show me like the exact exercise I need to do for my own home, bro.
You got it. You got it, bro. That's exactly it, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
I mean, it's personalized to everybody. Every program will be different.
Yeah.
And every program will have all the details necessary in order for them to follow. You know what I mean?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
We're actually like over 45 minutes on this podcast, if you can believe it, man. We're kind of getting there, but I still wanted to talk to you a little bit more, not just about the business. I think, unless you think I've missed something, you wanted to talk to about the business.
Fully remember, but I mean, I'll probably look back at this podcast and be like, "Oh shit,
I should have mentioned this." Well, you do have merch on your website.
Yeah,
that's one thing I will definitely say.
Yeah.
We'll show a sweater and
yeah, I'll take.
Actually, why don't you throw me that? Thanks, Tasha. We got this hoodie here. Why don't you show it?
No. It's nothing crazy. Has a logo, Performance Fitness Canada.
Love it, man.
This is my hoodie, so it says personal trainer at the back, but I mean it will say personal training for everyone else and have a few tags at the bottom potentially.
Nice.
But here you go.
Well, yeah, all kinds of things, t-shirts, those.
T-shirts, sweaters, etc.
So if anyone wants to support, head over to performancefitnesscanada.com right now. Grab some of that merch for sure. But yeah, like I feel like we definitely talked about this. This won't be the last time I'm having you on the podcast, but I did want to switch gears a little bit and go a little more personal and talk a little bit about what kind of personal goals do you have for, like, not just this year, but like for the next 5-10 years or so. Like, do you have any things that you really want to accomplish, things that you really want to get done? Say it out now, because we're gonna look back and we're gonna watch this and laugh.
Yeah, I mean, so every year, I mean, not every year. Last year I started writing my goals a little late in my life, but this year I kind of started following my goals a lot more than I ever have, and that's because I'm a visual person. So I bought a whiteboard, I bought a calendar, and I put it on a wall where first thing I wake up and I see it every single morning. I can't walk out my room without seeing this board. You know what I mean? So I have my goals written there. And, I do have some personal goals, which I will not share. Right. But, I mean, I don't have kind of a timeline on it, but I do and I don't. I mean, by the age of before 30, I kind of gave myself by 28. I want to be living out of Ottawa in a certain, type of lifestyle, living, whatever, what I mean? And that's kind of that top 1%. How am I going to get there? I personally don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to do, the steps I got to take and whatever, Yep. And one of the big things is I want to be taking courses every year. I don't have a certain amount. And I want to be learning every day. Right. So exceed my knowledge on whether it's business, fitness, personal training, whatever it is that's kind of my daily goal. Is this year I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm not a big book person, to be completely honest. Yep. I can't read books. I mean, I can read books, but I hate reading books.
No, I don't see you just sitting down there just wanting to read. Your brain's too active.
No, So, I mean, audiobooks I haven't tried yet. Yeah. It is my goal to try it, and I will try it.
I even struggle, bro. I'll tell you, yesterday I was driving, and I like audiobooks a bit better than reading, but for me, reading is something I like to do before bed, or if I'm like too many things going on, let me just read a chapter of a book. It actually takes me away a little bit, but I don't actually just enjoy just sitting there reading. Like, I've had this Becoming a Supple Leopard book to learn more about mobility and flexibility and stuff. Bro, I read the first chapter like 5 times. Like, I just can't get through this theory. It's textbook kind of talk,
I guess you really gotta find a book that you really like.
Right.
And I think that's kind of hard to find. Like that you enjoy genuinely reading. Readers can tell me that, hey, this book's so great. I love it. But from someone who's like a non-reader, like me personally, I don't like reading at all. Through university, I did not read a single textbook. I did not I did not enjoy it.
But let me finish my point. So I was driving. And I had a lot on my mind, and I'm like, let me I usually listen to podcasts as well. Like, it's just like podcasts or music.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me like try to learn something. I'm sitting in traffic. I hate traffic. Might as well learn something.
We all.
I put on this audiobook and I'd listen to 30 seconds of it and I'd get lost. The way you're reading something and you get lost. I'm like, hit the rewind 30 seconds button. Boom. I listened to the same part like 12 times. I'm like, fuck this, bro. I'm not, it's not, the info's not going in my head. Maybe it's like because this British voice, it's like really like, if you do this, and I'm like, bro, man, I just hate this. But audiobooks, I don't know. I'm still not fully sold, but maybe it'll get there.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I can't relate on that one.
It's weird. It's I don't know. But learn however you learn, man. Like, I think for me, I've learned more doing this podcast
than doing anything else.
Doing anything. Just
That's
sitting
facts.
down. If this does not ever get any kind of success ever, I don't care.
What are you talking about?
Because I've learned so much from so many people that I actually apply to my life. When Tony Greco was sitting where you're sitting, this dude was dropping bars of knowledge. I'm just like digesting it all. But yo, if like, I'm not gonna lie, dude gave me a book. I didn't read the book. I'm sorry, Tony. Didn't read the book because if I'm not gonna just. I love the guy.
Yeah, great guy, man. I love Tony, man.
If I sit there, I'm not just gonna I don't like just only reading a book. If I'd rather get in front of the person, dissect their brain, and just talk.
No, 100%.
This is how I learn way more. That's why I love going to coffees with people. I told you about that.
Yeah.
I love meeting with people face to face, reading their body language, having a discussion, talking things out. And I always like going into kind of like touchy topics sometimes that make people a little uncomfortable because I want to like dig and see like, yo, what, like, how do you really feel about this certain thing, right? So all that in a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is like everyone learns differently. You said you like visual, you clearly like this. Yo, don't force reading if it's not something that like works for you. Sure, like if there's a really interesting book, I'm not saying don't read it, but whatever works for you. No,
man. Yeah. Well, it's I like learning a lot from whether it's others, people, mentors. Yeah. You know what I mean? Meeting people just like you said. 100%. It works, man. It works. Whatever works best for you, like you said.
All right, man. This podcast has been amazing. I'm sure we could sit here for hours and just shoot the shit as we do. But I do have to wrap this up. Yeah. Before I get to my like final 5-round questions, let me just ask one kind of little open-ended thing. If it wasn't personal training, what would it be?
That's a tough question, but honestly, if it wasn't personal training, it's something that I want to work towards and probably still do. It'd probably be real estate.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. It'd probably be real estate.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Real estate, man, like you've always talked about it. It's always been something you've been kind of like interested in, but didn't like dive in, towards. I could see that. I could see that for sure. Let's get to our lightning round, bro. Unless you really had an itch to talk about anything else, man.
Nothing else, man.
I think it's been
It's just a conversation,
It's
bro.
just a convo. It's not that deep, right?
It's not that deep, pal.
What's one message you would give all previous and future clients of yours? One thing you could, if you could say one thing to all of them. I know it's very general, but one thing that like, stuck with you and you would give to all of them. One
thing that I tell them all, consistency is key.
Boom. Love it. Great answer. What would be the best advice you'd give 17-year-old Rahul?
Man, do what makes you happy.
Love it. If you had to live in any city other than Ottawa in the world right now, where would it be?
At this moment? At this moment, I'll move to Toronto. After that, Cali or Miami or LA.
Love it.
Should I say Cali? Yeah, made a mistake.
This one's a weird one. I don't even know why I put this here, but let's play with it.
Let's go.
Would you rather be... I don't know,
man. Nah, just say it.
Would you rather be a billionaire but never be able to leave Ottawa for the rest of your life? or be financially struggling, barely getting by.
A billionaire. I don't even finish.
But able to go anywhere in the world. Billionaire.
Billionaire.
Otto's billionaire. Love it. Love it. Okay, this one's kind of funny. Would you rather go a year without a haircut or a year without working out?
So let me just tell you something really quickly. So the reason he asked me that question was, for those who are still listening and now we're deep into our podcast, was I go for haircuts every week.
Every week.
So a year without haircuts is freaking tough. But yo, listen, I'd do a year without haircuts, I think.
Really?
Yo, bro.
I'd get to see the curly hair make a comeback, bro.
Hair, bro. I need my workout still, you know?
Yeah,
I need my
man.
workout still, bro.
Yo,
bro, I'd either be depressed or like
fly.
yeah, like, yo, which one, bro? I think I'd choose, you know?
Oh, man. And final question, what's your philosophy on work versus play?
Oh, damn. Yo, you hit me with one. Oh, it had to be the last but final
deep,
question. Was it? I mean, I don't have a philosophy, more so. I think it's... Honestly, I don't know if I'm answering your question right, but my thing is, and I think it will be, stay this way, is work hard, play hard.
Love it, bro.
That's it.
Thank you so much for coming on this. It's Not
thank
That
you
Deep
for having
podcast,
me,
brother. Shout out all your social media for people to follow. Everything, even though we've done it a few times.
Yeah, for sure. So go follow on Instagram, Performance Fitness Canada. Go Facebook, Performance Fitness Canada. Go to www.performancefitnesscanada.com.
Love it.
I'm on all those platforms. Go check me out. If you need anything, slide in my DMs. You can slide in my personal account, Rahul3, or you can slide into Performance Fitness Canada. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Just talk to you, whatever it is, give you advice. I got you.
I love it, baby. Crush those 2020 goals. It's not that deep. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
My dog.
Mad love. Thanks for listening to another episode of the It's Not That Deep podcast. For access to exclusive articles and content, please head over to www.itsnotthatdeeppodcast.com. And to help me grow this thing to the next level, here's what I need you to do. Go ahead and subscribe to my podcast on all platforms, wherever you listen, and share with all your friends and family on all social media. And please leave a rating as well. Remember, it's not that deep.